Thank you, Belle. That's why there's three of us. God, lummy. Okay, the recording has now started, guys. And depending on time, Raquel, we might get you to repeat at the end, but let's get the others all done. Okay, so I just want to clarify, guys, paid as executive. To achieve executive for the first time is 5 and 5. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. After that, it can be a balance, which is fantastic, and that's new, that it doesn't have to be 5 and 5. However, it's got to be 10, and it's got to be 10 every single day of the week. We do have this wonderful 24-hour grace that we can pick up if we do drop off. But bottom line is it's 10 all the time. So when Raquel spoke before about being at 10, it's being at 10. So if someone has a consultant that drops off, then suddenly you're at 9. So it's a matter of working on getting it up. Nicola and I have worked together for many years, and I always have talked about insurance. And insurance is making sure that you have a little bit more. And that's what Raquel's talking about, is if you've got, anywhere between 12 and 15 or up to 20, I might cover my goal now. My goal is to get to 20 consultants. I have never sat at 20, ever. And that is, I've got as high as 14. I think 15 the other week. And yeah, 20 is my goal. I have a bottle of Verve in the cupboard, by the way, which is to be cracked when I get to that 20. So yeah, that's my goal. My challenge is to be consistent with the daily method operation every day. It's very easy to slip into management mode in this business. And I'm loving the idea that we've got the accountability of this group to stay accountable to our daily method of operation. So that's me done as well. Who'd like to go next?
We'll go.
I will.
And I say, I say we because we've got the sister duo on here, and we're no longer living together, so I guess it's one of our first challenges. But anyway, I'm Sarah and Liz is on there too. We're both Kiwis in New Zealand. I live at the top of the South Island, Liz is at the bottom of the South Island, and we usually, we've always been living together and all the rest. So first big challenge is that we are separated, and we're trying to run our business still together, and being consistent. So our goal for this run to reset is to get back to paid as executive. We have hit it once, and we're consistently paid as consultant, so it's time to actually ramp it back up and get back to paid as executive. Another challenge that we have is creating consultants. It's been a bit of a sticky point for us for a while, so that's something we're really looking forward to getting consistent at doing. And I know, well, most of you probably know Liz is a shift worker too, so trying to balance in that with shift life work and having the time. So that'd be our biggest challenges. And I've forgotten one thing, and I don't know what the next thing is. Liz,
solution for the challenge. Solution
is planning our time. So I know, Liz and I also need to keep in touch a lot more in terms of business and have that weekly touch point each week. But reaching out and just doing our daily methods of operation 3 by 3 by 3 or whatever that may be, ramping it up for this reset and actually keeping each other accountable, and having a group like this will be awesome for that wider accountability. And yes,
so Raquel, we
have 2 business centers, but we build one. Yeah. And when that one maxes out, we'll build the other one. So we're going to max the first one out first. So that's the goal.
And I'll just jump into here, Liz, but you guys are running a huge business together. So staying in contact, it should be like, imagine you owning a shop and you guys only talk once a week, or you're not, the energy's not there and you're not talking daily. And so that's where I would jump in and say that's the first thing that you could change is you guys are sitting on a multi-million-dollar business. And you need to take ownership of that and really collaborate together and take ownership and run, it's like communication. Without communication, and one thing that I always talk about is I'm an energy exchanger. So you guys have got to be an energy exchanger in between yourselves to get your business ramped up, to keep each other. You guys have got the best scenario. You've got each other's to keep each other accountable, and you could go so much faster because you've got 2 of you. Like everyone I always talk to say, oh, I wish I could duplicate myself. You've got 2 of you, right?
Yeah.
So that's my only, just listening to your conversation straight away, I just wanted to jump in and share that.
No, it's so true.
Thanks, Belle, for doing that, because I
Yeah.
actually missed that part, which is when you're coming up with a solution, if someone else has got a solution, please jump in, because that's what this is about collaboration. Thanks, Belle.
Thanks.
Liz, did you want to add?
I guess the other part of the solution is Liz is frantically looking for a job that's not a shift working job, so that, you know, when you say a call's on this time at this place, I can be like, yes, 100%, I'm always there. And just like with Sarah and I catching up, our calendars have just been all over the show, so it's definitely an area to prioritize, as you said, Belle, for all those reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and just use your time wisely. Like, catch up when you're driving to work or driving home from work. It might be like Liz's morning, you know, or evening, but just have a changeover. How cool is that? You could actually be working your business 24 hours a day between both of you.
That would be
so jealous.
That would be the most ideal thing, Belle, and we would try to, because I have to drive an hour 20 to work, but I'm out of service my whole drive. So yeah, that makes it a little bit difficult. So it feels like there's pretty much 3 hours of my day that I'm just like, oh, I wish I could be doing something productive right now. But I just listen. Thanks.
And you know what? One thing that I always think about is what can you get to go to work? So you're going to have team members that can go to work for you and work while you guys are doing other stuff. Plus, also, I always think about, I'll put a reel out or a post out or stories out, and that's going to work while I'm not online. So that's being really productive, but you need to make sure you follow up with that social media, etc., and your team members when you've got that period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Belle.
Woohoo! Awesome. So good, guys. So good to have you part of this and have that Kiwi element. So very proud of you guys. Who's next?
Okay, I'll go.
Go.
Sitting here in all this kind of new energy, which feels really good for me. My goal is, going back, I'm totally relate to the shift working. I've been a paramedic for 24 years, and that's ending PTSD, like all kinds of stuff going on in the background the last 6 or 12 months, which has been really hard for me to show up in the business. So my goal this time round is to actually do the work. It's time. I've done heaps of work on my mental health and getting my own physical health back into alignment as well. And it's time to step into this next, like to crest over that next little tricky bit and do that. So my goal is to actually do the work, following along in this group and showing up for that consistently without using the excuses. So my challenges are going to be mostly mindset stuff, the life stuff that comes in that kind of can bowl you over and overwhelm you. So I'm hoping that all the work that I've done the last 6 months on myself will help me to stay on track with that. And I think some of the solutions that we were talking about before is like actually treating this like my job. If I'm going to switch from one career into another, then I need to actually schedule in time each day, make sure that I'm doing those bare minimums plus some, making sure that the income producing activity is not just fudging around trying to write, perfect posts and reels and whatever. I think another big part of my solution here will be collaborating with Raquel and taking real ownership over what it is that I'm doing each day. And strengths, that was a really hard one. I was thinking about that the whole time while everybody else was talking, but I gave myself a good talking to. I was out for a windy walk this morning, listening to a meditation, trying to tap my way through and clear the cobwebs. And it ended up like a rant. I would have looked like someone out of a lunatic asylum because I was just talking to myself like I was on stage, motivating and saying that I can do this. I've had 2 other careers that I have thrown myself into and proven myself in. Why would this not be a third one? So I know I can do it. I've proven to myself, and I just need to actually just bloody do it.
Well done. Awesome. I love it. That's really good. Well, succinctly put. So we've got Nick and Gabby. Oh, Gabby, you've unmuted.
I can go, sure. My goal would be definitely to build consultants and just enroll more people this month, like double. So maybe like 5. I guess my main challenge is how to do that efficiently, because I like, just in terms of numbers, I reached out to like 58 people last month and got 2 enrollments, so I don't know how to do more manually. It was tiring just doing that, so I can't imagine if I wanted to like double or reach 10 enrollments, I would need to just numbers wise reach like over 200 people, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that really. So, but one thing I think of is maybe making more reels rather than individually. Right now, all I've been doing is just individually reaching out to people that I know, but maybe making more like reels, so having more people see that, and then just having more of like, I know Heather, you mentioned like an automated, like a shorter message, and just kind of putting that out to the people who watch it. That's just one thing that I can think of. And I guess another goal would be making some kind of like system or structure in place in terms of like building consultants, like how to, like a system that can be duplicated that I can then pass that information on, like that kind of a structure. And I guess in terms of strengths, I am very organized and I like learning new things and having like making structures. So I very much appreciate that, and I'm willing to put the time into those things. Yeah, that's it.
And your strength?
Those are my strengths.
Oh, that's your strength. Sorry. I missed that bit.
He's very
Is it
organized.
organized?
You are. You're super organized. I was on a call with Cabby, and she asked a question about what language do I use, and I said, "Are you ready with your pen or your computer?" Because I just burble out a whole lot of different words and questions, and she typed them up. I wonder if we got that still, Gabby. We should drop that in the group. Yeah, it was questions to ask, I think, when you're doing a follow-up call with someone. Yeah, to really dig deep. Yeah.
Gabby, so with the numbers thing, like your ratio was so right with the conversions, okay? So usually 10 good conversations, you sign one person, right? And you probably knew those people a lot better than having to develop the relationships. The way that I can get a large number of conversations going is I reach out to people that view my stories. Because they're actually leaning in. They're choosing to watch your stories. So I always do that. I always check and see who's really watched the stories right to the very end, who's continually watching my stories. And then I just send them a really short message, and it's either a yes or a no, or they don't answer. So you could actually send out 20 messages like that in 15 minutes, if anything, and then over the days they come back. And if you do that daily, you're reaching like 140 people, just 20 messages. It won't even take that long. So that's one thing that I do. But even reels, you could follow that reel and you might have people commenting, wanting information that way by doing that, which I know is what's worked for Jen Jeffries as well. So any other advice, Heather, Raquel?
Yeah, Gabby, I just wanted to jump in and say reaching out to 50 people is not easy. However, the more you do it, the better that muscle gets for doing it, the quicker it becomes, the less, pardon me, the less mentally taxing it becomes. So you've done it once, you got 2 enrollments. That's phenomenal. Do it again, get better at it. Do it again, get better at it. Do it again, get better at it. And eventually you're going to probably get more enrollments for fewer reach outs, but you've got to build the muscle. So great start, keep going, and get better at creating a message that is engaging, but also generic, that you can copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste.
And also, Gabby, the people that you've spoken to that haven't said no, they're still in your sales funnel. So your sales funnel is still building, and they're there to be followed up when something else comes along, or a new product or something like that. So it's not like it is lost work either.
And I'll just add one more thing, which is that when you start getting those conversations, and I'm saying this because I need to teach myself this, is make your replies short and sharp and questions, because then they keep asking questions back and it keeps it flowing. And if you walk away and you're doing something else for a few hours and you go back, there's probably another answer back from them. So you get a lot more interaction if you don't dump a whole lot on them. I remember I was with Jen once and we had a message that I was going to send. We cut it into, I think, 4 messages, because I could just send the first bit and then get a reply. Then I had the second bit ready and the third and the fourth, because that way you're getting more interaction. So don't get into.
And the more you do that, the more they lean in, right? So it's like, yes, this is what's happening. Yes, you know.
I do love that, Heather. So you've just given me an idea. You know how we're doing the reset? We've still got another start date, which is the 9th. Rather than giving people all the information about our reset, hey, I've just started a reset, but I've got another one happening in a few days. Would you like to chat?
Yeah.
Don't give them any information. Let them be curious and come to you.
Yeah. Get people to lean in. Absolutely. Awesome. I'm getting more excited as everyone speaks. This is cool. Thank you, Gary. And great to have the international feel of New Zealand, Canada, and Australia. Okay, Nicole.
Good morning.
Morning.
Been a busy weekend so far, so this is probably just what I need to wake me up today. So as a brand newbie, because I'm still very much learning isogenics, new to isogenics, not new to the industry, but so I've had 7 enrollments so far. And obviously my short-term goal is to be manager, so not far away from that. So I'm working with 2 of my associates to become consultants ASAP. So that's a short-term goal. For me right now, because I'm the kind of person that feels like she's got to know everything and know it now, and that just leads to overwhelm. I know myself well enough to know that even though I want to know it all right now, I won't know it all right now. I probably never will know it all, and that's okay. But I just feel like I need to know more. So, you know, I've got lots of things to read and look at. So for me, it's making time to do that is probably a challenge. But I'm just going to chunk it down so that I don't get overwhelmed and it all gets put in the too hard basket. So my strengths, though, I'm a very resilient person. I'm very loyal. And I'm very organised. So having been sort of in this industry for 23 years, so I'm very organised and just need to tweak my processes to suit Isogenics business, and feeling really good about talking to people and asking questions, and you know, wanting to know how Isogenics is going to help them with their health. So did I miss anything, Heather?
Just in the chat, and even if you're on your mobile, just double check the chat, because there might be things in there for you. But yours is what business? So they're curious. You've got people's curiosity.
So Lorraine Lee Homewares, Linen and Manchester, was a consultant with them for 23 years and a manager for 20 years. Led a team of about 100 stylists, $2 million business at our height. So yeah. And it basically all faded away, and we could put last Monday they shut the doors. So yeah, that's my background.
She knows her stuff, I promise you. Okay, so a few people have shared short-term goals. I'd love to know, you know, and because this might be the scary bit of this group. So are you going to go for, if you didn't say it in your chat, you're going to go for exec in this 12 weeks? That's 10 consultants. So yeah, Nicole is, yeah.
100%, that's what it's for, right?
100%. Yeah.
I'd
Okay,
love
cool.
to know where people are actually starting at the moment with consultants. I know, Nicole, you're starting completely fresh. Clean slate. This will be brilliant for you. But where are the others? I think, Janine, you're paid as consultant, but you've been to manager.
Yeah.
Yep. So getting you climbing again. Sarah, Liz, where are you guys at?
Paid as consultant.
Okay. Yeah. Are any of your previous consultants still ordering?
Yes.
Is it possible that they would get back to consultant for you?
I'm trying to think a couple of them. A couple of them are just like, don't want to do any of that side of it, just want to enjoy the product. So to be honest, it's just a whole fresh new group. We've got a few product lovers who have shown curiosity about sharing and earning some money. So with the whole start Bali trip we had, we actually get a bit of interest out of it, but nothing sort of followed through. So
yeah, sure. What about you, Gabby?
Consultant.
Okay, so we're all pretty much going for minimum 10 consultants, right? We're all in the same boat here, except it sounds like for you guys, step one, you've got to enroll people to work with. You've got to go after your 10 enrollments ASAP. And don't worry about the consultant side of thing just for this first little bit. You've got to have people to work with. So put all of your energy into enrolling people. And as we would move along in this group, we'll be able to help you with the conversations to get them further along, maybe thinking about getting some money back for their products or sharing with others and earning more. But for now, put your blinkers on. You need to enroll people. How are you going to enroll people? Come up with 5 different ways that you could enroll people in the next week.
Awesome. I love that, Raquel. It's so true. And in that, what I put in the group last night, I said 10 enrollments and 2 consultants. And so you're concentrating on the enrollments, and fingers crossed, the consultants will come with that, either from new fresh ones or ones that you're reactivating. In answer to that question, Raquel, for you, at the moment I'm at 11, so 1 out of the 10 to get the new 10. And a couple that are in and out, so getting them back, but fresh ones is the absolute key.
Yeah,
fresh
absolutely.
New consultants is the key.
And going along with the theme that even though we're leaders in here, we are absolutely in this with you. I think I might be on, I haven't checked today, but I might be on 12 at the moment, but I know I've got a couple about to go into grace, and that scares the living daylights out of me. I think in the past, the most I've had at any one time was 20. Haven't gone over that, but it's certainly not there now. So spring, hope, action, renewal, more enrollments coming because people are coming into summer months. Now's the time. We've got to hit it now. And even if you don't get to executive in the next 12 weeks, I promise you that the work you do right now will come back around to pay you in 3, 4, 5 months' time. So don't be disheartened by the outcomes right now. Get into the journey, get into the process, and do it no matter what. It'll come back to pay you.
Wow. Awesome advice. Thank you, Raquel. We're up to time, and I do want to keep these to half an hour because then people will be prepared to come on if they know it's just going to be half an hour. Belle, do you want to wrap up with anything before we close off?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm at paid as executive too, and it is definitely a balance for me right now. I've got a couple of people in grace, and it does get you into that overwhelm, which is probably my challenge, right? Is not going into that fear mode and also taking action before I get into that. But I'm always working on new consultants, and so that's my game right now, is always seeing who I can bring back up and get solid, and have people also take ownership of their own business as a consultant, because sometimes you do have people that are just customers, right? So yeah, definitely all in with you guys, working away at enrollments, consultants, and it is definitely I'm just so excited. Spring, we've got so much to work with, whatever country you're with. And as you know, I talked about energy, and I'm loving the energy of this group. Use the energy to run, use the knowledge, and definitely I believe anything that happens in this period of time is just, you're going to see months on. You're just going to start 2025. How scary is that, saying that year? But it is going to catapult whatever you do now. And I know what we've got lined up for this group, and the people that we're going to get on Zooms is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm like, I cannot wait to get on Zooms with some people that we've got lined up. So it is a season of learning, growing, enrolling. And you're going to have ups and downs as well. And it's always in the nature of the business. But it is how quick, and one thing that, just want to wrap it up, but the one thing that for me, whenever I'm in that procrastination or feeling stuck or feeling overwhelmed, I always say to me, and you don't have control. And I'm someone that likes to have control. And it's like, what can I control right now? And what I can control is the action that I take. So I get into action. If my team members aren't doing action, then I can't control that. But what I can control is what action I put in right now. And that gets me out of that stuck momentum, that feeling of overwhelm, because I've taken action to get out of that space.
I love it. I love it. And I think that, I'm thinking about so many things, but Sarah Whitehead was at the skills workshop that we did a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know if Nicole remembers that, she's the only one on this call who was there, but Sarah said, when I'm doing a run, she said, nothing will stop me. So she said, when her husband says, hey, let's go for lunch, she says, look, sorry, not today. Like, it's just, she's like, this is it. I'm on a run right now, and this is it. It's not a forever run. It's a run that we are doing right now to set ourselves up, as Raquel said, for the next 6 months, because the work you do now will pay you off in the next 6 months. So I'm super excited. If you're a little bit nervous, remember what I used to teach my kids, which is that emotion here. How do you feel nervous? It is exactly the same as the emotion when you're excited. It's actually no different. You can switch it to be excited. So if any point in any of this time you read something on here or it gets you a bit nervous, then just go, oh, no, excited. Excited's much more positive. Okay, so let's go. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and enjoy. And I will be putting a poll in about our regular call. I'm thinking about doing weekends because weekdays are so challenging in the evenings with having New Zealand and Perth. It's just crazy that big long difference in time. So I'll put the poll in and we'll see what happens and see what people come up with. But looking forward to it. Can't wait. And we'll see you all soon. And thanks for hopping on. See ya.
Amazing. Thanks, ladies.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.